a clip came to our attention, Link Lauren, a clip from your show. And it was about your New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
And we want to show this to the audience in SOT 32.
If you're feeling bad about not reinventing yourself this year, don't worry. Meghan Markle will debut an entirely new personality, company, or life story by February, so she's got us all covered. Really, you're doing fine. And there's always that one friend, okay? There is always that one friend who says, I'm going to be kinder this year. I'm going to show up. I've changed my ways. Sweetie, you downloaded one Mel Robbins podcast. Cut the crap, okay? You bought one self-help book. There's always that one friend who thinks that this is their eat, pray, love year. This is the year they're really going to transform and be kinder and be better. And then they're back being a miserable troll in about 5 days. Okay, so listen. I'm not judging. It takes a village. But if you've been a bitch the last 20 years, why change now?
Okay. I love it. All very good advice.
Thank you.
But later in the show, you asked the audience to weigh in on the sweater. Yes. And I would like to officially do that and say, I'm against it. It has the feel of somebody reaching for like your boob in the movie theater. For the listening audience, it's got like what looks like a hand across that sweater that is diagonally green and black, and then like a white hand reaching across, reaching for like a boob or the shoulder. And therefore I'm against it because it reminds me of middle school.
So the sweater is not going to be brought back out unless it's a recurring character like the wickless candle. Okay, I keep Meghan Markle's wickless candle on my desk because it's a recurring character. I'm glad it doesn't have a SAG card. It might start charging me. But no, the sweater is going to stay in the closet. And I don't care about looking ridiculous. I thought, okay, this is so terrible. I'm going to wear it. And let me just ask them how much they hate it. Like a few weeks ago, I wore this insane purple shirt. And it ended up being one of our biggest episodes. I think we got like 4,000 or 5,000 comments on that episode. Half of them were like, we like the shirt, we don't like the shirt. And I bought the shirt myself. It's not like anyone sent it to me. I didn't even say the brand of it. But no, that sweater was a Christmas gift. And on Christmas morning, everybody has related to this, okay? On Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, you open a gift and you hate it, but you have to go like, oh my God, thank you. You turn into an Academy Award-winning actor on Christmas morning. Thank you so much for this sweater. I thought, I don't care if I look ridiculous. I know they're going to have heated opinions over this sweater.
Here's what you need to say when somebody gives you a gift like that. And I love this line because it's true, but it's also somewhat subversive. Okay. Yes. It's not insulting. I could not love this anymore. That is what you say when you get the terrible gift.
No, totally.
I could not love it anymore. It is honestly, I couldn't.
Could not.
Trust me, I couldn't. Now, one of the reasons I raised this with you is because we had our own sweater gate here at the MK show. It didn't play out on the air or with the audience, but it's about to. So every day before we go on, I sit down in the chair and I can see my executive producer, Steve Krakauer, and my executive producer for news, Debbie Murphy, on my little Zoom camera, which is right underneath my real camera. Right. Sometimes the audience will see me looking not into camera, but looking down because on the screen below the camera, we play the sound bites and I can see them better because it's a big camera. And I can see Steve and Debbie there. And so that's helpful for the anchor to just figure out the traffic of the show and what's happening. And sometimes they're talking to me in my ear. Anyway, I see them sitting there, and I sat down mid-December getting ready to do a show, and Steve Krakauer, he's been my EP from the beginning of the show, we've been friends since forever, is wearing what to me from this distance, I'm about maybe, 15 feet away from the camera, looked like a strapless shirt. It looks he's a heterosexual man. He's very happily married with kids. Look at this. And I took a picture of this link with my camera. Does it not look like he is naked from the shoulder up in this little screen grab? I don't know if you can see it. And there's Canadian Debbie laughing at him on screen. Right. Let's run through a few of the screen grabs if we have them. Yeah, there's another one. And I'm like, Steve, what are you wearing? He had no idea. And we were going to have a staff meeting that day. Here's me taking a picture. You can see me in it, taking a picture of this. So we were going to have a staff meeting that day. And I'm going to tell you, Link, that he actually put on a jacket before the staff meeting because we so shamed him out of this ridiculous sweater. Because it was like, for the listening audience, like peach. I think peach, Steve, I'm sorry. And then a stripe of blue, and then peach, and then blue. And the peach looked naked,
Right.
like Steve Krakauer went strapless for the Megyn Kelly Show that day.
No.
Does that sweater stay or does it go?
That goes in the same bin as my sweater. No, it's got to go. I will say, when I stand up, the sweater is not as terrible. I think there's this big fashion account that breaks down like Melania's outfits and Princess Catherine's, and we use their stuff all the time. And he did a full thing on like where the sweater was from and the full picture. And I said, I feel like I've kind of made it now because this account is talking about this horrific sweater. But no, it is not coming back out except as like a gag, like the candle.
Wait, Steve, what happened to the sweater? Asking now. It's retired.
Okay,
he says.
good.
It's retired.
Good.
Just took a little good old-fashioned shaming. Like the world has to do what it's going to do. This is why I'm in favor of shaming. This is why I don't like principals screening somebody's valedictorian speech. Like if they say something stupid, they have to be subjected to the wrath of the masses out there that teach them the old-fashioned way what to say, what not to say, what the bounds of society will allow. And so that's laws of natural consequences, which is why, there should be feedback on sweaters and the like, and we shouldn't be shy about it. It's our duty as friends.
Absolutely. No, we need to bring back shame in 2026. I think the girls were getting a little too shameless in 2025, all these thoughts out here and people, the way they were behaving. So we need to bring back a little bit of shame. Like I was at a restaurant the other night and we didn't go out on New Year's, but we did like a nice date night, fancy restaurant, I think on like the 2nd or the 3rd. Some of the outfits walking into the restaurant, and it is cold. These girls are wearing nothing. And I said, do you remember before it was socially acceptable to come to a restaurant with your vagina out? Like, how are you in here with this outfit? So we need to bring back a little shame.
I don't want to eat next to exposed vag.
Well, what
that
I
is
said
not
was,
appetizing for any of us.
I know we're at a Japanese restaurant. I don't need to see your California roll. Like there was a lot going on. So I didn't need to see that, actually. It was confirmation of I'm gay. Anyway.
By the way, we also should, we got to crack down on the crying men.
Yes.
Have you ever seen so many crying men in the news? Like a lot of crying by newsmen. Just this week alone, Link. What do you make of that?
It's interesting because on the one hand, it's like, okay, nice that a guy can cry every once in a while, but I'm old school. I don't need to see grown men crying all the time. I think Kelly Catrone, this publicist in New York, used to have this phrase, if you have to cry, go outside. All these crybabies in the workplace, and there are Gen Zs who are bringing their parents to job interviews. Like they're 24 years old, bringing their parents to job interviews. Everyone needs to grow up, okay? And man up too, okay? We need more alphas in this world. Like I want Delta Force looking guys. I want those guys who went and snatched up Maduro. I don't want crybabies who are, I think a lot of these men, and I hate to say it, women might get mad at this, but I was having a conversation with a friend. I think it's social media. Is it the hormones in the chicken? I think men these days have a period also. Like men, it's like, I see so many guys now, it's like even my girlfriends will be like, I think he's on his man period because they're just emotional and angry and it's up and down.
Yes,
it's gotta
Link.
Change. It's got to change.
I just asked Jesse about this. Jesse Kelly. I'm like, is it the microplastics? Is it what is it? The water, the chemicals in the water, the sunscreen? Because I do miss real men. I want real men. I agree with you. Like Delta Force, that'd be great.
Right.
But just not crying all the time on camera as a male anchor, I would take that too. We talked about Tony Dokoupil yesterday, the weird crying in a clip that he put out. He wanted us to see him cry. That's what's so weird. It's even worse than the Philip Bump thing we just showed, because at least he was live on the air. Tony Dokoupil was in a taped interview with somebody and started to tear up about the fact that he didn't get to grow up in Miami. So it wasn't like I said, the whole family died in a house fire. Not that.
Right.
No, it was I didn't get to live there. Repeatedly wiping the eye and then the other eye and then back to the first eye and back to the other eye and choking up in the throat and couldn't get the words out. It was embarrassing. Right. But I will tell you, I did get a little insight on what he's doing last night. All right. We played this clip yesterday, so it was from the day before. Then last night, he went out and tried to do a little summary of what's happening in Minneapolis.
Okay.
I guess this is going to be his thing. And I realized something about his thing that put the crying in perspective. Watch what he did last night.
But our job now is maybe the most American thing of all. It's to find a way to live with people who are genuinely different from us, to try to be fair to them, and in doing so, to make things better and keep things decent. Because in America, no one else is going to do it for us. It's not my job to tell you what to think about what happened here yesterday, but I can tell you we owe our children a nation that is better than the one we live in today. And I can say that because we all know it's true.
Okay. So what's happening here, Link, is he's trying to be Oprah.
Right.
That now it all makes sense. He's trying to offer fake profundities that move no one and are actually not original or meaningful at all, and peppering in some like self-help talk, kumbaya hugging type stuff in between his crying fits,
Right.
because he's telegraphing Oprah. He's Topra. That's what he's trying to do with the CBS Evening News. And like Oprah's show now the days, it will fail. This is no way to appeal, I think he wants, American women, because we all like the Delta Force thing.
Right.
The only far left liberal women like a crying Topra, right? And men certainly don't like that. But I figured out the formula, and this is apparently the new bet on the future of CBS News. Thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting. I think it's a generational thing because I don't really know who a lot of these people are. I mean, when I see these palace intrigue stories about all of these networks now, I'm like, I actually don't know who these people are. I wish you guys well, but I just have never heard of some of these anchors. And even my friends like, we don't know who this is either. So, shout out to everyone over there. I wish them well. But a friend of mine gave me advice years ago. She said, if you want to be taken seriously in politics, you cannot cry on camera. Like if you lose an election, especially as a woman, you can't cry at your concession speech. Hillary, Kamala, Doug Imhoff. So it's like, if you ever want to be taken seriously, you cannot cry on camera. I don't need to see grown men crying, maybe after sex with a cigarette, but no, I don't want to see you on camera cry.
No, not that either. Nowhere around sex should a man ever cry. No,
I have to call my mom
no.
afterward. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I don't need to see grown men cry. And I really don't need to see a ton of women crying either.
We have to run it again. Can we run the crying video just to get, I need to see it just before we go to weekend.
You said this is your favorite place in the world. Why? Why South Florida and Miami?
Well, it makes me emotional. It's so funny. I didn't think it would catch it. Because you only have one childhood, right? So, let me get a second.
Right.
Okay. I can relate. This is home.
The wiping.
To help people understand why I have such a reaction.
Yeah, help us. More wiping.
Florida is where I grew up.
Oh.
We didn't get a lot of sleep.
More wiping.
Yeah, my grandmother's here.
Can't get it
my
out.
father, my mother, my aunts and uncles, cousins.
Okay.
And it's where I would have spent all of my childhood, but we left because of my father.
Cancer?
Got in some trouble with business. It's like, we laugh about it now, but he was a drug dealer. But the reason it's so emotional for me is because I feel like I was robbed of the full Miami experience. So when I come back, I'm always like...
He was robbed of the full Miami experience, Link. That is like you and me going down there and forgetting to have a cocktail poolside in the 24 hours we have on business. That's a conversation we didn't get the full Miami experience.
I know.
But he's crying about it 40 years later and then tweeting out the clip because he wants us to see how Topra he is.
Yeah, no, all I can say is I don't think you guys will ever see me crying on camera. Even if I discuss something serious or sad, there's a high probability that I hold it together and I don't need to see grown men crying on the news either.
A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, until January 30th. If you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, you just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.